It's getting close to the end of the year of 2020, and it's been a long one. I started my channel's first year here on YouTube with an item sorter, and since then you guys helped me build this channel up to now over 200 subscriber channel, with over half that in the past 100 days. So for my final video of 2020, get ready, because there's a new completely silent multi-item categorizable sorting system. And this thing is crazy tiny and is crazy fast. This can sort over 3,600 items per hour and is only 7 deep and 11 tall. And also has some awesome disco lights that let you know when your entire system is sorting, so you can dance and party while your system does all the sorting for you. The entire thing is expandable in both height and width, so you can make this thing as big or as small as you want. Now, when we take a closer look on how this machine works, we can see it all has to deal with hoppers and droppers. The hoppers do a simple trick with locking the bottom hopper so only the top hopper can do anything. And then it says, can I push paper into this chest? And if there's no paper in this chest, then it'll move on to the next chest, and so on. And that's how I've been able to make this entire system as small as it is. Now, when it comes to the silent item elevator, guys, I have spent hours, and I mean hours, on this world trying to make a completely tileable and silent and reliable item elevator, but it is surprisingly very difficult. And so I also spent hours on YouTube looking for designs, and I've only found this one design by an amazing creator. So if you want to create this tileable, awesome item elevator, I'll have a link to his video in the description and on the screen right now. It's an awesome design, and like I said, it's 100% reliable, so highly recommend you guys to go check that out. And I slightly modified it here at the bottom, and so I just decided to add in some lights so they'll flash, letting you know when your machine is still on and still working. Now, when we take a look at the timer on the other side, we can see that the timer itself is 1 wide, and I took a lot of time in order to make this 1 wide. So it's simply using this clock right here that will get turned on and off whenever this decay clock runs out. Now, this timer right here is set to 3 ticks on the top and 3 ticks on the bottom. Now, I will mention this again later in this video, but if you're on a laggy server or your computer or phone just can't handle this much movement, it being this fast, simply slow down the timer to 3 ticks or even 4 ticks, and the entire thing should work just fine. It will just be slightly slower. Now, the other thing to mention with this system is it will turn itself on and off whenever there are items in the system. So whenever items are leaving this chest, this observer is detecting this. This is a new feature I recently learned about. It might not be new, I don't know, but it's new to me, guys. Okay, come on. So, it's an awesome feature, and that's what's keeping this decay clock on. Even if there's items later in the circuit, whenever they use an item elevator, I have it also resetting the decay clock. So you never have to worry about any items getting stuck inside your system, because no matter where your items are, you never have to worry about items getting stuck in the system, for it will stay on until all the items are either sorted or have been put into the junk chest. Another quick thing to note is in this sorting system, you do have to have every slot filled, like I said earlier. So if I had in this chest only potatoes in the first slot, then you will get random items that are flowing through your sorting system in all these other slots. So you always have to make sure that every single slot is filled, and then if you want apples, just left click it and then right click it once, and then you'll leave just 1 apple in there and you can take the rest. If you don't do this, this system doesn't work. So if you're on a mobile device, this might not be the ideal sorting system for you, but anybody on PC or Xbox or anything else like that, this is a perfect sorting system and very ideal for anyone who wants a quick and silent multi-item sorter. A quick thing to note when building this is if you're going to make this super big, so for example, in this scenario, I have 5 columns of chest, then I have a barrier, and then 2 more columns. If you're going to have your sorting system be more than 5 columns, you're going to need a 1 block wide barrier in between every 5 columns. This has to do with redstone strength and just how far it can reach. So, as you can see here, I have repeaters, and so that's what you need the 1 block gap for. So just keep this in account. If you can make it smaller, 5 columns or smaller of chest, then don't worry about this column. Just ignore this entire segment. But if you want to make your super massive, you are going to need 1 or even 2 of these, like, 1 block gaps in between every 5 columns or so. Now, for those of you who prefer to see a world download of this, or you want a material list, all that is in the description of this video, so go check that out. And while you're down there, hit the like and subscribe button. Helps me out a lot, and it lets me know you're enjoying these videos, and I'll make more of them. So thank you. Okay, when setting up your sorting system, I highly recommend just put 5 chests in each column, and then have as many columns as you want, but for this tutorial, I'm only going to have 3 columns. Now, each of these columns are individual. Each of them respond individually, but we're going to always work with them in pairs. So, all of these double chests are 1 pair. This double chest are 1 pair, and these double chests are 1 pair. And then when building area around them, make sure you have 4 deep area below them, and then you have a 7 deep area behind them. Once you have that, you'll have all the area ready, and let's get started. Alright, first grab out all your hoppers, and we're going to place all of these for all the chests in first. We're going to place a hopper facing into the chest, and we're going to make this kind of a checkerboard pattern, but our input chest is going to have a hopper going straight down. So we have hopper going into the chest, hopper going into the chest, we'll have 1 there, 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 1 there. Now on all the rest of them, we're going to have hoppers going straight down into the hopper right underneath them. Next, come down 2 blocks from these hoppers, and we are going to place a row of chests, and we'll have these all be single. Coming all the way like that, and then we'll have hoppers going straight down into all of those. Now at the bottom of here, you can see I have a chest. This is our output chest, any items that don't get sorted or can't be sorted. This you can either have running to impossible item sorter that can sort all non-stackable items, link on the screen and in the description, and you can have this wired up to another system that is just a giant item silo that just holds all your items that you didn't sort or don't want to, or we can have this set up so the items will go up an item elevator and come into an item silo right here, right next to it. I will show you guys how to do this, or to just leave this right here, but either one is just fine and will work just as well. Alright, so the next couple steps on this machine are very repetitive, so I'm going to show you guys how to do each of these steps once, then you guys can pause the video and do the same for every single one of these slices. So we're going to start here at the chest, and we will have an observer going down, we'll have an observer coming out, down, in, and then right here we will have a repeater on 2 ticks. I can place this. And then we will have 2 more observers coming right in like that, and now we'll go into a block. We're then going to place a temporary block right there, and we'll have a line of hoppers just coming straight out like that. If we break that temporary block, we can put a comparator right here. And now, if you guys do want the disco light floor, this is also where you guys can put that in. Only get your redstone lamp, and you can put a block and redstone lamp. Now, anytime there is an item that goes through the system, you can see it'll flash the lamp, all the redstone will go, and the item should end up into this hopper. Now, all that's left to do is for you guys to repeat this process as many times as you have chests. Now, when it comes to the final chest here, like I said, you can either have this, turn this into a hopper, so it'll run straight into the chest, and then if you want everything to be symmetrical, you can just quickly put a comparator, and then we can also have a redstone lamp here, so whenever an item flows through the system, it'll still light it up, but it will instead go into this chest. Or what we can do is we can also repeat the exact same process. And then we can have this line go all the way up and just come down into another column of chests here. But then for these chests, so we can fit more items, and we're not actually going to be sorting these, we can just have hoppers going straight in like this. So just going straight into the chest. And then if you don't know how hopper logic works, if I just throw in this block here, the hoppers prefer to go straight down than to push into the side, so they'll come all the way to this bottom chest, and that's where all your extra items are going to be that you don't completely sort. Our next step is to start locking all these hoppers. So we're going to come to all these hoppers that are going straight into the chest, and we're going to place a glass block right on all of these. Now, you can notice I am going to skip this entire top row, and then I'm also going to skip this final row because this is the spot that we have these unsorted items. If you don't have this, don't worry about it. But again, if you're going to follow me exactly, Just don't put glass blocks right there. We will have these on all these coming all the way down. And then we're also going to go 2 more blocks down and just extend our checkerboard pattern. Your final result should look something like this. Now on the top ones, we're going to place repeaters and these, and then we're going to go right below that and place repeaters again, right below that again, and we'll place repeaters a 3rd time. Now we're going to place redstone dust on all the others. Now in order to connect this all up, we're going to place a block flush with the block that's the repeater is on. And then grab your redstone dust and connect them all up. Next, we're going to put in our dropper elevators. So for these, you're going to need to have a line of droppers just coming all the way up to be level with the top hopper. And now do the same for every single one of these. Just like that. Now when we come down to the bottom, we're going to have an observer coming off of the first dropper. And that will go into a block with a redstone torch. Now coming up from that, we'll have a line of observers. Now these observers are not all going to be here, but I find it easier just to place them all to begin with. Now every other one is going to be replaced with a torch. Now for all the ones that there's an observer, we are going to have another observer coming right off that. And all the ones that there's a torch, we will have a repeater coming off of all of those. And then we can place a block. Now connect it all to the droppers. Now this entire process gets repeated for every single one of these, but it gets varied a little differently. The reason is this dropper needs to give an item to this hopper. This dropper needs to give an item to this hopper. If we look in this machine, we can see this weird hopper and chest pattern, and that's how we get around this. So for right here, we are going to have just a chest, and then we would have a hopper chain coming right around one top, and I'll come right here, so this will go up an additional 2 blocks. And then for the next one, we need to go to this chest, which we will have right here, and we'll make this a double chest. So then we can just hop in right there, come in, and then this one we will also have come up just 1 more block. Now by doing that, we need to raise this up just another 2 for this one. And then for the next one, we need to have it just go up 1 more. So this is where you're going to just rotate back and forth between going up, going down, going up, and going down. And you're going to just repeat the same double pattern for the rest of these. And so again, when looking at the top, we're going to have a single chest, double chest, single chest, and then we'll have another double chest. And then for all the double chests, we will have a hopper line going straight into it like that. And then for all the single chests, we will have a hopper line going on top of the double chest. Alright, now that you have finished putting in the silent item elevator, all we have left to do is to install the timer that will go in just a 1 block wide area right here. So we are going to have a glass right on this bottom dropper. We'll have a solid block here, and then we're going to have 3 solid blocks just come right underneath. We'll have a block right there, and then we'll have 2 solid blocks right there. Actually, this last one does need to be a glass block. And then right here, we will have a tripwire hook, and that's to redirect redstone. Now right here, we will have 3 comparators facing away. Then right here, we'll have 2 comparators facing in. We'll have redstone dust connecting all those up. We'll have a block here. And then this block will be connected to this top chest using a chain of observers. These observers, like I said in the intro, will flash whenever an item is flowing through the system. So you saw how that observer ticked. It can see when items are leaving chest. And so that's the exact same logic we used in our item elevators that are completely silent. And that's also the exact same logic we used when making our timer. Now this entire 1 wide decay clock's all going to power a repeater right here, and this repeater is going to be on 4 ticks. Whenever that repeater turns off, that's going to turn off a timer that we're going to have a couple torches up. So this is going to be a total of 2 torches, and on our 3rd torch we're going to stop. We're going to come out 1 block, redstone dust, and we're going to have 2 blocks above and 2 blocks below. Then 1 block in the center and 1 block up here. These final 2 will have torches. And then right here, we'll have 2 repeaters. And then we'll have 2 repeaters here. Now, I advise you to have one repeater on 2 ticks on each of them. So there's a total of 3 ticks on the top and 3 ticks on the bottom. If your system is if you're on a laggy server or your computer can't handle it, simply adjust these repeaters by 1 tick each, and that should make the entire system run more fluid. I have found on decent computers, 3 ticks on the top and 3 ticks on the bottom works just great. So if I take off that repeater, if I take off that torch, we can see the entire system is working, and we can see all the repeaters are flashing, and that is because this system gives an observer pulse, but is way more reliable than observer is itself. So right now, your system would work just fine, but there is one slight issue. It would leave items within the sorter because it doesn't know when all the items are sorted and when they have not been. So if we come around all the way to the bottom, we are going to fix that. So right here, we are going to have a repeater, and this repeater is going to be on 3 ticks. We're then going to have a redstone line just coming all the way down, and just put, like I said, redstone dust right on top. Now whenever the item elevator triggers, it's going to send a redstone pulse through this redstone line. This repeater is going to extend it, and then that's going to further extend the decay clock. Now, for this very first redstone line, what we're going to do is we're going to take it off from that torch. We'll have a redstone dust there, and we'll have a block, and we'll have a redstone torch, and now we'll go into a block, and right here we'll have a repeater. And just like that, you guys have finished the entire sorter. All you have left to do is to take some items, fill every single slot in the entire system, and you are all good to go. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next video.